Can you see the presentation of simple present versus present continuous?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see then. We are going to start with our review, and remember that to identify these tenses, we have some clue words that we can find in any sentence. It could be affirmative, negative, or interrogative, and the clue words for the simple present are always, usually, often, sometimes, never. Remember that these words are called frequency adverbs. And when we find a frequency adverb in a sentence, we can be sure that the sentence is in simple present. For the present continuous, we are going to have clue words too. At the moment, at present, currently, nowadays, now, all these words refer to the present continuous tense. Okay, let's continue then. As you know, the first thing we are going to check is grammar. Okay, we are going to review the affirmative, negative, and interrogative sentences in these two tenses. Okay. Remember that for the simple present, we have two forms of the verb. Play, a base form, and plays with S for the third person. I play, you play, he plays, she plays, it plays, we play, you play, they play. Remember that last class we saw the rules to add S to the third person in the simple present. And then for the present continuous, the structure is going to be subject, verb to be as an auxiliary verb, and we are going to have a main verb finishing in ing. Remember that this form is called to gerund, okay? Then I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are playing. That is going to be the difference, okay? Negative. In the simple present, remember, we are going to use auxiliary verb do or does, depending of the subject. And then we are going to add the particle not, okay? Do not, does not, okay? Or remember that we can put together these two words and then get contractions like don't or doesn't. And the verb for all the persons, it's going to be in simple form without S, because the S is on the auxiliary verb, doesn't. I don't, you don't, he, she, it doesn't. We don't, you don't, they don't, okay? And in the present continuous, we are going to add the particle not after the verb to be. Remember, the verb to be is the auxiliary verb in the present continuous, okay? I am not playing, you aren't, he, she, it isn't, we aren't, you aren't, they aren't playing. For the interrogative, remember that we have to write the auxiliary verb at the beginning. In this chart, we have an error because we have to use capital letter at the beginning of the interrogative sentences. Remember, do and does have to be written with capital letter. Do, does, capital letter D. Do I play? Do you play? Does he, she, it play? Do we play? Do you play? Do they play? And in the present continuous, we are going to change the position of the verb to be to the beginning one. And remember, we are going to use capital letter am, are, is, are with capital letter, okay? In this chart, I have an error. I have to write it with capital letter, but I tell you that this auxiliary verb had to be with capital letter. And then we have the short answers for these previous questions. Remember that they are called yes/no questions. For the simple present, we have yes or no, the pronoun, and then the auxiliary verb in affirmative or negative. The same case is for the present continuous, but remember that in the present continuous, the auxiliary verb is the verb to be. Okay, yes, I do, no, I don't, yes, she does, no, she doesn't for the third person. Yes, I am, no, I'm not, yes, you are, no, you aren't, yes, he is, no, he isn't. Uses. Do you have any question about grammar structures for these two tenses? Okay, can we identify what is the possible difference between them? Now we are going to check the uses of these two tenses. The first one is, remember that the simple present is used for repeated actions. It means habits or routines. And the present continuous, something happening at the time of speaking. The action is not finished. That is going to be the difference. This is a permanent action, okay? And this is an irrelevant action. Two examples. He is a chef. He cooks delicious food, okay? Every day he cooks delicious food. It is his habit. Present continuous. Now he's cooking a new recipe. At this moment, okay, he is cooking. I'm a builder. I build houses. Every time he builds houses. At the moment, I'm building a new house. The second use, simple present, is used for permanent situations. And the present continuous for temporary situations. I'm a doctor. I treat people. Currently, I'm not working. I'm ill. She is French. She lives in Paris. At present, she is living in London. She is learning English. Okay? Permanent and temporary situations. The there used for the simple present to say that something is true or untrue in general. The earth turns 360 degrees every day. In present continuous, to talk about changes, developments, and trends. The earth is changing due to global warming. Okay, this is going to be the cause that the earth is changing. Polar bears live in North Pole. Climate change is affecting polar bears. The four use for the simple present and present continuous. The present simple is normally used to talk about thoughts, feelings, and states. I don't believe, is that really true? And the present continuous is mainly used for actions and happenings. It's not usually used for states. Like love, hate, want, be, prefer, know, suppose, mean, believe, understand, seem. All these verbs are normally used in continuous progressive tenses. Are not normally, okay? They cannot be liking, loving, hating, wanting, being, okay, being, yes, preferring, knowing, no. They are used to specific situations and they are not normally used in continuous progressive tenses. Feed use. Present simple, always. Remember, always is a frequency adverb. We are going to check the use of always with the present simple and the present continuous. Always with the present simple means every time. We always play video games after lunch. Always with the present continuous means too often. They are always playing video games most of the time. We always celebrate our wedding anniversary. You are always forgetting our wedding anniversary. Okay, check the difference between these two tenses. 6. Present simple in storytelling and commentaries. The present simple is used to describe the main event. Baptista passes to Cohen, who shoots just over the bar. Okay. The present continuous is used to background events. The Blues are attacking much more in this half. Okay, and then for the last use of these two tenses, we are going to check that sometimes they are used to express the future, okay? An official arrangement such as a timetable or program. The train leaves Manchester at 11:30 and arrives in London at 2:20 p.m. This is a timetable for this train, okay? They have a period of traveling. Present continuous, a personal arrangement. They are having a party tomorrow. They are preparing the things for the party tomorrow. What time is the match on Sunday? It starts at 7 o'clock. This is a future situation, okay? Next Sunday, on Sunday. I'm meeting Rose at 6 o'clock today. Today, he is going to meet Rose at 6 o'clock. We can also use the present simple for facts. Tomorrow is Tuesday. And tomorrow is Sunday, okay? In that case, we use a simple present. As always, thank you so much for your attention to this presentation. And then we are going to check if you have some questions about it.
Just to be clear, teacher, we always going to use the letter S at the end of verbs in he, she, or it?
Yeah, but in affirmative sentences only when you use the simple present.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in negative and interrogative, as we saw in the charts, we use auxiliary do, does, okay, to form them. Yes, but in affirmative, yes. S with he, she, and it. Any other question? No more questions? Ok, muchísimas gracias por su atención, como siempre, muchísimas gracias por su presencia.